So congratulations, you've just purchased the randomizer or thinking about purchasing it for the low, low price of free. The randomizer right here. We'll start it up. And so I'm filming this on my wife's new iPhone 4 while filming it with my old iPhone 3. And this is probably the first screen you'll see, something like this. There are some generic students that are in there. And just the way it's supposed to work is you've got a student. The first number is their class number. The next two names are the first and last name. Then you've got the number of chances they have in the hat. These aren't quite lined up. And then the 4 zeros that they start off with is the number of attempts, the number of good attempts, the number of bad attempts, the number of skip attempts. So you hit random, and it pulls up a student. You hit random again, it pulls up a different student, if I hit random correctly. Having a little trouble getting at it from this angle. And one of the first things I want to show you is the help up at the top there. Comes up. Everything I show you is going to be in there. But the one thing that's not documented right now is you can actually shake this. So notice this on Christopher now. I'm going to take it. I'm going to shake it. And now it's went down to Justin. So you can actually, it's the one undocumented feature. I didn't make it into the help. I put it in there and then kind of forgot about it. I was trying to get this out there quickly. And so the other thing I'm kind of definitely going to be in version 2 is it makes sounds when you scroll, but when you hit random, it doesn't really make like a sound. And I'd kind of like that audio prompt, but it's not there yet. So just know when you hit random or you shake it, you're probably not going to hear anything, but you'll notice that it does change who it picked. So you call on somebody, you call on Anna Vargas here, and she gives you a good answer, so you hit good, and it adds her, and you can tell that it deducted the number of names she had in the hat, gave her 1 attempt as well as 1 good attempt. And then maybe you call on somebody else, and you call on Whitney DeLeo, or probably DeLeon, and Whitney's sleeping on you, so you hit bad. And once again, I'm having a little trouble hitting the angle here. And notice that updated. And actually, maybe that was a mistake. Maybe actually Whitney gave you a great answer, and you did that by accident. And so one thing you'll notice before I change this is it did not take any numbers out of the hat for her. She still has 5 chances in there. And the idea here is, as you call on students, people who've been called on will still be in the hat, just not as many times, so it's less likely they're going to get called on again. So maybe that was a mistake. So what you have here is an undo button up here. So if I click on that, it'll say, oh, did you want to undo that? And I did, so I hit OK. If that actually was not a mistake, I can say, no, actually, I meant to do that. But so I hit OK, and it changes her back to normal. And let's say, actually, it wasn't a bad answer. It was just, she gave something, but I don't really want to count it as an attempt. So I'll just hit skip. And that lets me know that she tried something for whatever reason. I skipped past her, and it doesn't take her name out of the hat. So good takes the name out of the hat, gives them credit for good. Bad and skip basically are just 2 different ways to say not going to take your name out of the hat and record it some other way. So that's the basic idea. Now the next thing you want to know is, how can I use this? I want to get my students in there. Well, there's a couple of ways you can do it. First of all, if you go to Edit, which is the next button over, you'll see the students in there. You can add new students here. You could change an existing student if maybe you misspelled their name or something. You've got a couple other fields here. The first one I'm calling student number, but you really can put anything in there. And the next one I'm calling other, but once again, you could put anything in there. And then you've got the number of attempts, the number of chances in the hat, attempts, good, bad, and skip. So you could change those there if you wanted to for some reason, but you probably don't. Probably would like to add a new student there. So you want to do new, and you can add a student to your class. But being that you've just started doing this, you're probably going to want to load your own classes because you've got all these generic classes that I've put in there, and you're probably going to want to put your own classes. And this is really a painful way to do it because you start typing in here, and you got the little tiny keyboard, and it's just a problem. So let's see. I'm going to go back. I'm going to click just anywhere to get rid of the keyboard here. And I'm going to go to the very last button, which is in out. And what you'll notice there is basically all the data in what's called comma delimited form, that if you wanted to, for some reason maybe you wanted to use this to actually do grades, you could copy this and do select all and copy it all, and then go take this to your email account, paste it into your email account, email it to yourself, then you could take it out, save it as a text file, and then import that into Excel. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, it doesn't matter, but some teachers like to do this. I'm one of those kind of teachers, which is one of the reasons I did this. But that's if you want to take them out. If you want to get something in, one of the ways you could do it is you could notice that you've got the class number, first name, last name, kind of what I'm calling the student number, the other, and then those other things which you may or may not care about those numbers. You probably definitely don't want to care about putting them in that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit clear. It's going to clear everything out. Now, that didn't erase the class. It just cleared everything out. And then I'm going to do kind of the reverse of what I just talked about. I already wrote up an email and sent it to myself with a couple of students and their names and their class number in there. So I'm going to go out to my email account. I'm going to hit home, and I'm actually going to go to Safari because this is not mine. This is my wife's phone, and I've already got a message up there because I've tried this demo once already. And all I did was I clicked somewhere, and I'm going to copy, and this is going to grab everything. And you notice I've got a signature down here, all this stuff. We're going to leave it like that. I'm like, that's fine. I'm going to see what happens when I do this. So we're going to go back. I'm going to go back in the randomizer, still on that page, hold it down, I do paste. Now what you're going to notice is it got that footer in there that I had on my email. We're just going to leave that in there for now. All you really need to do here, and you could even do it from the screen, but it's far easier if you're using a normal keyboard to do this kind of thing, is you just need the class number, first name, comma, last name, and then if you want to put in those other fields, you can put comma, whatever you want to go into what I'm calling that student number field. And if you want to do another one down here, Alex Andronico, the student number field, I'm going to have dad at 4442323, but then I'm in the next field, the other field, I've got a note to myself that Alex is out the week of 10/20. So notice some of the students just have 3 fields, but I can do more or less than that. Okay, so we hit update. Updated, great. So we go back to pick, and we're like, looks like all the same students. All right, so this is just one of my classes. To change classes, you've got to go to Settings, and in Settings, you'll notice I'm in Class 5. If I switch over to Class 4 and I go back, oh, now I'm in Class 4. So if I go back to Settings again, I can see, oh, there's that Class 7. So I go back to Pick, and there are those students, and I can see if notice that it automatically put a 5 and in all zeros in there. I didn't have to type that in. It kind of figured that out for me. If I go to Edit, you'll notice that Alex has those 2 notes, and Fran was the other person that had a note in there about telephone number, and then Han, or Han, depending on who it is, it put in zeros. If it doesn't know what to do, it puts in zeros. But notice it did put in 5 chances, and then it filled in zeros for the other statistics. All right, and once again, there's a delete button. If for whatever reason I don't want Han or Han, whoever it is, in there, I could delete them, nuke them. Okay, so now I've just got those couple of people in there. Okay, and let me go back to my settings. And notice I've got 7. No, you'll notice one more thing, though. I've got a 0 in there now. This was not in there before. So what happened there is that extra junk that I had on my email, at least one of those lines it thought was something that was input. So if I go back to pick, I'm like, oh yeah, it grabbed like the last line and for some reason put that in there. So I'm just going to go and delete that class. So I hit delete, and it says, you want to get rid of it? Yeah, nuke them. And it gets rid of them. The last couple things I want to show is reset chances. Is if I wanted to like say, oh, I don't want to give people 5 chances. I want to give them 10 chances or 7 chances or whatever that. I can change that, make that 7. And then for whatever class I'm currently in, like for class 1, I could say, okay, I want to make everybody have 7. Now this is going to change everybody. So if they had some, this is going to reset everybody just for the chances. And okay, and it says, do you really want to do it? Yep, I do. And I go back here, and now you notice everybody has 7 chances in there. Now, the last thing, so let's go back there one more time. And reset stats kind of does the same things. The attempts, good, bad, skip. That's all under reset stats. And then finally, first name, last name. Right now, it's abbreviating the last name. Let me go back and look one more time. See, there's last name. The last name is, let's find somebody. Yeah, like Shivani there. Couldn't fit the whole last name on there. So it abbreviated it. If I go back to settings and switch it and say, well, now it's going to abbreviate the first name. And now her first name is abbreviated. That's it. Enjoy.